So I got this barrel, this big old barrel, for 10 bucks, and I'm gonna make a smoker out of it, an ugly drum smoker. So I'll start by cutting off this lid using an angle grinder, and we're just gonna chop it off. So it's gonna fall in, and you just, with some gloves, grab it and remove it as you would any unwanted item. Then you start grinding away this sharp lip because it's super sharp. After you cut it, it's super sharp. So I'm smoothing that. And luckily I ordered this wire brush from Amazon for exactly this purpose. And the purpose being to remove all of this paint. Because it's not high heat paint as far as I know. So I'm removing it all, getting rid of all of that, getting it down to this sweet bare metal. So I want to fit this Weber lid, but the lip on there is too much. It's too much metal. So I'm grinding it away. And I'll be honest, it took forever to grind enough metal off for it to fit. It took so long, and if you have a better idea, let me know in the comments. I would love to never do it this way again. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint it black, a glossy black, to match the Weber lid. Using saran wrap to cover the lid so that it does not get paint that it doesn't need. It might not look that much different. Who knows? Got to get this top part. Don't want to leave that out. This here is a draft door that I ordered from Amazon. It goes to a Kamado grill, however you say it. That's up to you. And it works perfectly because it's curved, just like my barrel is curved. Cutting a nice rectangle here to match that draft door so that the door has something that it is opening, so that said draft can be created. What am I gonna do with this? I don't know. But I do know it's real sharp right here now, so I'm using the wire brush to smooth it out so it doesn't cut me or my friends. But it did create a situation where I needed to give it a new, fresh spritz of paint. Having previously drilled these first two holes to guide my cut for the draft door and so that I could mark the placement of the other two holes, I will now tighten this thing on there, drill the other two holes, and we'll have ourselves a functioning draft door. You could even involve a clamp like I did, and that builds up a lot of confidence when you're making these cuts and drills. It makes you feel secure. It makes you feel clamped. Here it is, right side up. Now I'm getting ready to put some mounts in for the grate. And initially I went with some long bolts, but they weren't sturdy enough. So then I switched to do these stainless steel angle bracket deals. And that's what I did for the top and bottom grate. And those work a lot better. Got them from Amazon, believe it or not. And I used all stainless steel hardware because the internet scared me about some of the zinc coated stuff or galvanized stuff, saying that if it gets hot it'll release gases that hurt you. So I didn't want to mess with that, so I used all stainless steel. I even put in some lower mounts so that I could still use this barrel as a charcoal grill. I'll put in this first rack here, then I'll put in hot coals and grill up top, sometimes even using a warming rack. What I've got here is called expanded sheet metal. It is steel, it's not coated. It is often used for grill grates and stuff like that. What I'm doing is I'm creating a charcoal basket. I'm using stainless steel wire to fasten it onto the lower charcoal grate from a Weber grill. Once it's held in place with that wire, I'll then use some bolts and some nuts and some big old washers to fasten the expanded metal to one another, forming a nice cylindrical mesh. Now this is a aluminum pizza pan. Its only purpose in life is to catch the ash so that it can be easily removed. I'm using some nice long nuts and bolts to fasten it onto the charcoal grate. I found my favorite marshmallow roaster in the garage, so I'm cutting it into a nice metal rod. Then I'm going to bend it so it has good hooks on the end. And then I'll just kind of wiggle that. I'm just going to kind of wiggle that into the charcoal basket. And it was really hard to wiggle it in there, so I skipped that part in the video. But it's in there, and you can trust me that it did happen. This basket can hold a ton of charcoal. It can easily go for 20 hours without reloading. Now I'm going to get started on some shelves. I'm using wood, a very common material. I'm cutting this board in half because I want 2 shelves, one on each side of the barrel. I'm going to fasten on some brackets so that the shelves have a place to sit. Then I'm going to cut a crescent moon of sorts out of each shelf so that it can fit snugly to the side of the barrel. I was even so bold as to round these corners. Just really want to maintain that roundedness. I went ahead and smoothed out all those edges with a random orbital sander. I decided to finish these with teak oil. And while I do like the product and it's held up well, I would probably go for something quite a bit darker. I'm always getting burn marks on these and charcoalness, and the light color was not a good move. I do like how they look though. Now I'll just show you how this whole thing fits together. So I can lower my huge charcoal basket down in there. Sometimes you gotta jimmy it a little bit. Then I got my lower grate and my upper grate. I even got this thing called an upper decker. And finally, the Weber lid. Really happy with how this thing turned out. Been cooking on it a lot, and I'm loving it. If you like this video, please do hit the like button. Even subscribe if you want to see more like it. I'm going to be cooking up meats with this thing, all kinds of meats. You could even hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post a new one. Oh, and comment. Please do.